I was 12 years old.
I was 13 years old.
I was 12 years old.
I was 13 years old when I was bullied.
Bullying knows no boundaries. In this episode, we explore how different culture understands, experience, and address this global issue. From Eastern collectivism to Western individualism, we uncover the stories and the solutions.
Bullying is the social phenomenon that cuts across all the boundaries of the geographic and the culture in the throughout world. Is the common challenge to the person in the society from every part of the world. It's a magnificent throughout the variable, physical and psychological and even digital form. Those turning into the many-faced problems worthy of the deepest analysis and discussion. Surprisingly, different cultures approach bullying in their own manner, and the most often the local values and the traditions shape the spread and the strategies applied throughout it.
Across the globe, bullying manifests differently, shaped by cultural values and traditions, from the collectivist societies of the East to the individualistic atolls of the West. The way bullying is experienced and addressed reveals deeper cultural insights. In Eastern cultures, such as Japan and South Korea, the concept of harmony and group cohesion heavily influences how bullying manifests. Relational bullying, social exclusion, gossip, and manipulation is more common. Victims may find themselves isolated or ostracized, as direct confrontation is often avoided in these collectivist societies. In contrast, Western cultures like the United States and United Kingdom exhibit more direct forms of bullying. Individualism encourages open expression of conflicts, which can manifest as verbal insults, physical aggression, or overt confrontation. These cultural differences highlight how societal values shape bullying behaviors and interventions. Understanding these nuances is essential in designing effective solutions.
On November 18, 2011, a Korean girl committed suicide due to intense bullying that she received at school. In her suicide note, she listed the names of all her tormentors. Along with the names were the words, "If I die, it will be the end for all of you." And these complicated problems would come to an end, too. The girl was 14 years old. In Korea, about 1/3, 32% of all teenagers who use the internet say they have been the targets of cyberbullying. This is a problem facing 1 in 3 teens. Being bullied at such a young age, well, any age really, but especially at a young age can be horrible for teens. It affects a teen's mental development, makes a person feel alone, worthless, sad, and afraid. Time magazine reported, statistics show that suicide is the leading cause of death among 10 to 19-year-olds in South Korea, where young students often face intense pressure to conform and excel in hyper-competitive academic environments. Most young South Koreans who commit suicide are believed to do so because of bullying and family problems. Among East Asian countries, Korea ranks first with the highest suicide rate, with 20.2 suicides per 100,000 people. This isn't a coincidence.
남을 괴롭히는 사례가 흔하다고 생각을 하시나요?
정말 흔하다고 생각을 해요. 제가 학교 다녔을 때는 왕따가 끊이질 않았어요. 이 친구가 왕따를 당하다가 그 친구가 끝나니까 다른 친구를 또 왕따를 시키고.
좀 정신적으로 피해주는 게 좀 더 심한 것 같기는 해요. 오히려 이제 물리적으로 가다 보면 자기들한테 피해가 오는 걸 이제 학생들도 알잖아요. 그래서 때리거나 뭐 가하거나 이런 거는 좀 줄었다고 생각을 하는데, 오히려 정신적으로 따돌림을 하고 있지 않은 척하면서 따돌리는 경우가 많아서 좀 그런 게 더 심하다고 네, 생각을 합니다.
핸드폰을 이용해서 그런 따돌림도 많이 발생되고 있는 것 같아요. 여러 친구들이 한 명에게 다 같이 놀림을 한다거나 나가려고 막 채팅방에 나가려고 하는데 막 억지로 초대해서 되게 싫어하는 말을 하고 뭐 사진을 보내고 그런 식이 또 다 학교 폭력이라고
racism in Korea?
In case I get on the subway, I sit somewhere, person besides me will get up and go sit somewhere.
Really?
Yeah,
So,
and it has
yeah.
happened to me so many times that now I'm used to it. And second part would be sometimes when people stare at me with curiosity, which is fine because they're just curious. But sometimes I can see stare with some kind of hatred. Why are you coming to my country? Some of my friends have been screamed at. Go back to your country.
Crazy.
I want there to be a policy where there's no hate speech and bullying in Rockland schools because I feel like it's not fair.
I'm here to talk about a 12-year-old Rockland boy speaking out tonight on issues of bullying and racism at his elementary school.
Just hours ago, the student addressed the Rockland School Board after his family says a number of incidents were not handled appropriately. New tonight, CBS 13 Shirin Rajay joins us live from the Rockland School District with more on this young man's message. Shirin?
Christina and Tony, this kid is inspiring. After sitting down with him and listening to him speak tonight, you wouldn't think he's 12 years old, but he got a standing ovation this evening, and he tells me he's speaking out not just for himself, but for the other black and minority students who are hurting, but too afraid to speak out.
I've been hit, chased, thrown down, and called the N-word several times this year.
Daniel Pocklington bravely took to the podium Wednesday night, begging the Rockland School Board to listen.
It is hard for me to find a safe way to go to school and actually feel important. It keeps happening and I don't feel safe or like it'll get better.
Daniel was adopted at birth, and now at 12 years old, he's a fifth grader at Rock Creek Elementary. His family says he gets good grades and is part of student council and on the school's cross-country track team. But his school life has been tough.
Someone wrote a note and put it onto my desk and it said the N-word again and nobody admitted to it, so I felt like why does this keep happening to me, and like what have I done to people to make them do this to me?
He says on a number of occasions he's been bullied, thrown down, kicked, and called racial slurs.
It felt really bad. It felt like you got shot right through the heart. It felt like you didn't mean anything in this world.
He said, "This is just what life is going to be for me, Mom." And I can't accept that.
Daniel's mother says she's tried speaking with the district and the school principal.
He said that he was handling it. They were doing 1 day in school suspension. And I said, that's not enough. That's not teaching my child that he matters and that the school's not going to tolerate it.
Daniel says he's now speaking up because it hurts more to hold it in, and he knows there are other students feeling the same way. And that strength earned him a standing ovation.
I want to be known for the content of my character, not the color of my skin. Thank you.
Now, the Rockland School District says tonight each allegation was addressed immediately with an investigation and appropriate disciplinary actions taken when appropriate. They also tell me tonight that the principal did have a meeting with fifth grade students to talk about important issues of tolerance and acceptance.
Important message. Shirin Rajay live in Rockland Forest tonight.
Bystander intervention across culture. How social norms, empathy, and individualism shape our action. Bystander intervention, acting when someone is in distress or danger, varies across culture. Culture value influence when and how people step in to help. Let's look at 3 key factors that shape intervention: individualism versus collectivism, social norms, and empathy. Individualism versus collectivism. How culture affects action in individualistic culture, like the US or many Western countries. Personal responsibility and individual rights are emphasized. Bystanders are more likely to intervene because they see it as their duty to protect others. On the other hand, collectivist culture, common in Asia, America, and the Middle East, group harmony and social roles are prioritized. People may hesitate to intervene, especially situations that disrupt the group. Social norms. The expectation of helping social norms also shape how bystanders react. In some cultures, There are strong expectation help of others, especially in times of crisis. In Arab culture, for example, helping someone in need often seen as a moral duty. In contrast, Western culture, while helping is valued, there might be a stronger emphasis or not inferring in personal matter. Empathy and compassion. How emotion drive action, empathy, or the ability to understand others' suffering is another key drive. In collectivistic culture, empathy often ties to family or community responsibility. If someone in the group is in distress, bystander may feel strong obligation to step in. In individualistic culture, empathy might be more personal. Bystander feel moved by the victim's suffering and may act, especially if they are in emotional connection. In conclusion, culture values around individualism, social roles, and empathy all influence whether people intervene in distressing situation, while people individualistic culture may act based on the personal responsibility. Those in collectivistic culture may prioritize group harmony, sometimes delaying or deferring intervention. Understanding this culture difference help us better encourage bystander intervention across the globe.
Hello and welcome to This is Psychology. I'm Dr. Norman Anderson, CEO of the American Psychological Association. The problem of bullying has received a great deal of media attention recently, and for good reason. Bullying can lead to lasting psychological problems, including lowered self-esteem, depression, anxiety, and even thoughts of suicide. So how do we define bullying? Bullying is a form of aggressive behavior in which someone intentionally and repeatedly causes another person injury or discomfort. Bullying can take the form of physical contact, words, or subtle actions, such as cyberbullying or using the internet, mobile phones, or other digital technologies to harass. Someone who is bullied typically has trouble defending himself or herself and does nothing to cause the bullying. Bullying is not a phase children have to go through. It is not just messing around, and it is not something to grow out of. Bullying can cause serious and lasting harm. Recently, I participated in the White House Conference on Bullying Prevention. That event, led by President and Mrs. Obama, brought together approximately 150 students, parents, teachers, nonprofit leaders, experts, advocates, and policymakers to discuss how we can work together to make our schools and communities safe for all students. It was a great opportunity to brainstorm and share resources and solutions. APA and psychologists have worked on the problem of bullying for many years. Psychologists have conducted cutting-edge research into the causes of bullying, as well as the most effective strategies to prevent it in the first place. Thanks to this research, we know that there is no single cause of bullying. Rather, individual, family, peer, school, and community factors can influence the occurrence of bullying behavior. Knowing these characteristics is important to developing prevention strategies. Research in psychology and other fields has shown that effective bullying prevention programs involve long-lasting, school-wide programs that incorporate firm, positive discipline practices and provide intensive training for parents, teachers, and children. APA and our members have developed a wealth of materials and information for parents, teachers, psychologists, and even kids who are being bullied. These include books, articles, and guides for parents and teachers. Many of these resources are on our website at apa.org. There is also a wonderful website developed by the federal government at stopbullying.gov. So if you or someone you know needs help or wants to join the effort to end bullying, please visit these informative websites. Thanks for watching This is Psychology.
Education is a cornerstone in combating bullying. Programs teaching empathy, kindness, and the impact of bullying equip students with the tools to stand up against it. Workshops and campaigns bring communities together, promoting mutual respect and understanding. Bullying is not just a school issue, it requires a community response. Engaging parents, educators, and the local leaders fosters a support system that prevents bullying and supports victims. Community-driven campaigns emphasize collective responsibility to create a safer environment. As bullying evolves into the digital sphere, technology must become part of the solution, from cyberbullying reporting tools to stringent social media guidelines. These innovations empower students to take action against online harassment.
Bullying is unhealthy for us.
That is exactly the message the White House wants Americans to take from today's conference.
Putting a stop to bullying is a responsibility we all share.
There is a way to change this. We can stop bullying by adopting a whole education approach where teachers, principals, administrative staff, students, and parents all play a role in promoting a safe and supportive school environment. We need to ensure that all students, whether they are bullied or see others being bullied, understand the nature and consequences of bullying and know how to report it and respond to it. Teachers and other school staff need to understand what bullying is and step in or act every time bullying happens. Schools and classroom environments need to be positive spaces where learners are not just physically safe but emotionally safe too, where classes are well managed and disciplined, and teachers and students enjoy healthy relationships. Support must be put in place for those who are affected.
Together, we can make a difference in stopping bullying. It starts with each of us, by standing up for others, speaking out against injustice, and showing kindness in every interaction. Bullying has no place in our communities. It's up to all of us to create safe places where everyone feels valued.
Sticks and stones.
Sticks and stones.
Can break me.
But words can hurt me too.
What if
we set an example?
By living each day.
By words like freedom,
Confidence.
strength, courage,
friendship,
Family.
tolerance.
Hope.
What if we
taught our children words to live by?
Responsibility.
forgiveness, love,
gratitude,
respect.
Put an end to bullying.
You can fix yourself by breaking someone else.